Do you think of yourself more as an African than a Jamaican?
Yeah, because one of the main things is that we're Rasta. From you accept Rasta, you become an Ethiopian, which is Africa. Next thing again, the history of Jamaica shows that the Arawak Indian was living there, and it belonged to the Arawak Indian. Now, our history show that through slave business, black people come out of the Western thing, you know? So we still figure, say, Africa is a root, you know, and this is where we must return to.
Now, this is what a Timor Cohen looked like.
That statue is not an Indian. Stop repeating this. It seems like no matter how many times we pull your card, you still say the same shit. Let's play the video.
This is an image of what the Timor Cohens look like.
That is a Blackamoor. That is the image of an African. Did you even read your own source? Did you read it?
Right? This is an image of it. And this is actually an article to go along with what they were saying, right? Let me blow it up a little bit.
Now watch. He's not going to blow it up and then read it. He's just going to blow it up. Because if he would have read it, it would clearly say that it's a Blackamoor, that it is not an Indian. I'm here to take this Moor statue away from you. This is a Moor, an image of a Blackamoor. This has nothing to do with Indians in America. Let's go.
So this is the article that goes with this particular statue or the image of what they saying. Now they already clarified that it was Negroes in them islands before Columbus got there. Whether you want to call them Africans, that's a whole nother argument. We don't know where they came from, right? So in this particular article, let me see. I'm going to try to find a exact part that I'm looking for.
Let me play that back. Listen, y'all.
Try to find a exact part that I'm looking for.
I gotta find the exact part that I'm looking for. You know what part he was looking for? He was looking for the part where it said something about the Moor being an Indian, but it's not going to say that because this is the real source, not the fake source that he always used.
So he's not a resident of Africa, but a what?
Right, but see, now they're going to go on
What
to
a
how
what?
they count. Hold on.
What a what?
Bro, but Indian. There's a fake source where it says he's a brown Moor, but he's an Indian. That's the fake source. Is not a resident of Africa, but an Indian. Although facial features and skin color are a black African, but the body tattoos, ethnological exactly represented, have him as well as a native of Florida. All of this is pseudo. All right? All of this is, none of this is mentioned on the real source. Somebody fabricated this. This is the real source. See, he's going to realize that he never had the real source. And this is why he's not going to read anything. Pay attention.
Well, actually, you know what? But it's in another article. I'm not even. Well, actually, you know what? But it's in another article. I'm not even.
I told you, yo, I'm beating these Indians up all year, man. All year, I'm smoking you. This is the real source. And nothing in this source says he was an Indian. You went to a pseudo site and you've been sharing that same pseudo information for the longest. But when you went to the real source, this one, this is what happened to you. This is what happened to you. It's not there, bruh. It's not, because he's not an Indian. Uh-oh. This is why YK got to get him out of here. He's a 3-time loser. Get him out of here. It's not there.
Well, actually, you know what? But it's in another article. I'm not even gonna get into it, but
He's not even. That was a fail. You fell on Sarnetta TV because this is not an Indian. This is a Blackamoor. And I'm going to prove it because now I'm going to pull up this source. Those Blackamoor images you see are servants. That's why you always see them carrying trays or something in their hands. It's symbolism for servitude. Objects which featured representation of African figures and postures of servitude were common features in British houses and gardens of the 17th and 18th centuries. This article focused on 3 such sets of stands in the National Trust collections of Ham House, Knoll, and Durham Park, combining evidence found in letters and household inventories with analysis of the design of these objects. This article dissects the development of the decorative category of the Blackamoor. It argues that by exploring the language used to describe these figurative pieces of furniture, the manner in which they were displayed, and the materials from which they were made, we can gain a greater understanding of how decorative objects reinforced racial hierarchies through the normalization of black servitude and explicitly celebrated the wealth and status gained through the exploitation of enslaved Africans. So these sculptures are servants. Okay? This is why you always see them with something in their hands. Symbolize wealth. You see the color? You sit on them. They are holding something. Okay? So this goes back to the Blackamoors. These people are servants. You see? They always got something in their hands. So the Blackamoors are African people. They are not Indians. Stop repeating it. Here's another example of poor comprehension skills. Low comprehension skills. This is what these ABOS suffer from. They don't understand what they are reading. All right? Now this is about the Gullah people. He don't know where the Gullah people come from, right? So they want to play these name games. So let me show you the flaws in his argument. Here are the flaws. Check it out.
All right, cool. So a lot of people think that Gullah Geechees are Africans. I know there is a internationally recognized tribe called the Gullah Geechee Nations, ran by Queen Quet, and they say that they are connected to Africa. But I'm about to show y'all that this is not an African culture. This is not a term that's associated in Africa in any way. these are all connected to indigenous people of the Americas. So the term Gullah, okay, based off my research, comes from the word Gua, okay, or Gullah, okay, however you would like to pronounce it. So let's see what it talks about. It says the Gua was a historic Native American chiefdom of the Mississippian culture. Okay, so it's giving us an indicator. These are indigenous people. These ain't no people who just came off of a slave plantation and ran into the woods. Okay, this is a Native American chiefdom of the Mississippian culture. People.
Right. That was those people. Now let's see what happened to those people. This is what happens when you have low comprehension skills. This is your source, Geechee God. You cannot call yourself Geechee God if you're not African, unless you just calling it that because of the name of the river. But after those people, that name is in reference to African people, West African people from Georgia and the Low Countries, Florida. So if you don't accept that history, you're not a Geechee. Don't call yourself Geechee God. Give me that name. Let me hold that. See, you don't read. So this is going to be another zip them up. Let's go.
Located along the coast, okay, here we go, of present day Georgia and the Sea Islands, okay? So the Guao, okay, happens to historically.
Oh, yeah, this is another case of cherry picking gone wrong. Because he going to try to dip up out of there without reading the whole source like you're supposed to. Cherry picking gone wrong. You're going to hear this word cherry pick for the rest of 2023. It's ABOS season. It's WABO season. Now let's get it.
He resided in the same place that the Gullah Geechee people say they are from. Okay, now we got that clear. Let's go here, Si.
No, we don't. We don't got that clear. Let's go back. We're not going to let you cherry pick and run to the next source. This is your whole entire source. So you can't pick and choose what to accept and what to leave out. Now let's go back to what you left out. Pseudo. Now it says, Gullah was a historic Native American chiefdom of Mississippian culture, peoples located along the coast of present-day Georgia and the Sea Islands. Spanish Florida established its Roman Catholic missionary system in the chiefdom in the late 16th century. During the late 17th century and 18th century, Gullah society was shattered by extensive epidemics of new infectious diseases and attacks by other tribes. Some of the surviving remnants migrated to the mission areas of Spanish Florida, while others remained near the Georgia coast. So they're all over the low country. Pseudo. Joining with other survivors, they became known as the Yamasee, an ethnically mixed group that emerged in a process of ethnogenesis. Gullah had been cited as one of the possible, it only means it's possible, origins of the name Gullah people, a distinct Afro-American ethnic group. So even your own source is saying that the name was just given to an African people because of the lands that they are on now. It's going to tell you that low comprehension skill ABO. It's going to tell you why they gave him the name. A distinct Afro-American ethnic group that emerged and was concentrated in much the same area where the Gullah lived. So the Gullah today is not the Gullah. Pseudo, low comprehension skills, cherry picking gone wrong. I'm going to beat you up with your own source. The alternative name for Gullah, Gullah Geechee, has also been connected to the Geechee River. So you're just a river god. Those people are scattered all over because of diseases. That's not you. Pseudo. Other scholars have theorized African origins for the word. So there's different meanings for the word Gullah. But let's go back and see him try to dip out of here. This is some funny shit. Watch him try to dip.
Place that the Gullah Geechee people say they are from. Okay, now we got that clear. Let's go here, Si.
He didn't even read the whole shit. He didn't even read his own source. You are fined $5 because your source doesn't agree with you. These ABOS need to be fined $5 every time they cherry pick and every time their source don't agree with them. This is how I know y'all don't have nothing to stand on. You have no truth. You have no history because your own sources don't agree with you. This is why you got to stick and move. You got to say this and then leave. Cherry picking. Cherry picking.
Okay. Wow.
Now he's just gonna talk about the Gullah. That's all he's gonna do. That's all he's gonna do is talk about them.
Everything I bought, but I don't want to show.
So you failed, bro. Truth Searcher failed with his DNA shit. A1 failed with his Moorish shit. Geechee God failed with his evolutionary biologist and his cherry picking of his source. Failed miserably on Sidnetter TV. Zip him up. Hold that L, bruh. Hold it. Aboriginal Power, you was quiet for most of the bill. But I'll play the tape back and see the pseudo shit you shared, if you shared any. So it's your brother YK The Truth, man. And I'm out. Peace.